Greetings and salutations. We are from Plant Engineering and Quality Management, Section 2, Group 2. We present about the project report. Our group members, including me, Yu Xing Yu, Cliff Campbell Peter, Dashmina Ana Lalaki Lejmanan, Muhammad Fahan bin Yusof, Brenda Inshana Anasur. For introduction, we had an industrial visit to Felda Pump Industry STM PhD, which is located in Johor on 19 June 2023. FGV is an affiliate of Federal Land Development Authority, Felda. FGV is one of the world's largest producer of crude palm oil, accounting about 15% of Malaysia's total annual production of CPO. FGV Pengerly was established in 1973. For the problem statement, there are a lot of management systems conducted by industry to manage their quality and maintain the reputation of industry. Some of the management systems can be effective, some might not. So a qualitative and quantitative method is required to analyze the engineering and quality management of an industry. There are two objectives in this industrial visit. First is to investigate overall industrial management on engineering and quality. Second is to understand the process and flow of process involved in industry.
Okay, moving on to methodology. This diagram represents the FGV industrial methodology. Okay, from this process flow diagram, you can see that palm fruit goes to fruit reception and then undergoes sterilization, and then after that it goes to threshing. From threshing, it separates to incineration and digesting, and from digesting it goes to pressing, and after pressing it will be separated to two different routes, which is oil clarification and deprecapping. From the oil clarification, it will also separate to purification and centrifuge. And then from purification, it will go to drying, crude palm oil, and storage tank for refinery. And then from centrifuge, it will go to effluent plant, and then to the water course. And then going back to the pre-carping, it also separates to two routes, which is nut drying and kernel bunker. From nut drying, it will go to cracking and then go to PTS separation, hydrocyclone bath, and kernel drying. And from kernel drying, it will go to storage, and it will end at crusher plant. Now for the next methodology, which is the report methodology. This diagram represents our workflow. The first one is survey, and moving on, take note about the process. After that, present among group members. Finalize the improvement in the process. After that, Q&A session, and last but not least is the report writing.
Greeting and salutation. I'm Dashina Lechmanan. Today I'm going to explain about result and analysis. For our project, the result and analysis is based on one of the methodology that we studied in plant engineering quality and management, which is fishbone diagram. The fishbone diagram is used to identify the problems in quality improvement of process plant of crude palm oil at FGV Pengerly. So the first one is the grading methodology. They're using two workers for one lorry grading, so adding more sorters and automatic grading machine will increase the quality of the grading at the FGV Pengerly. And then by adding more sorters or automatic grading machines, it will increase the rate of grading methodology. Thus the method and workers increment will be increased. And the second one is at the sterilization. So at FGV Pengerly, they are using 4 sterilizer, which each sterilizer can consist of 11 cages. So, but all the sterilizers are working at one time. Thus, when we reschedule and isolate each sterilizer, it will increase when the production when we maintenance one of the sterilizer. So if we need to maintain one of the sterilizer, we need to stop all the sterilizer. If we change the positioning and reschedule or isolate the sterilizer, it will increase the production value where we can only stop one sterilizer if it need to be maintenance, and other will run during the maintenance process. So that one for sterilization. Third one is threshing. Threshing is a method where we need to collect the kernel or the empty fruit bunch. So before this they are using incineration, and now they are using the EFB, empty fruit bunch, to make pellets, and they are put on the land as a fertilizer. So they can use the dig grave method to make it fertilizer, or they can send the EFB towards a pellet maker. So thus they can add their byproduct, which is the EFB, into a pellet. And the fourth one is kernel drying silo. The kernel drying silo is at the low quality management, where they dump all the kernel silo below the bunker. So they need to add more workers and tasks to package the kernel silo. For the overall maintenance, they need to create a vacuum room for the thresher, and where there is a cyclone, because uh, the plant is full of dust and there's leakage at the floor, the cleanliness is low, so they need to clean frequently and manage the system. And when we talking about the management, we need to restructure the management to eliminate hazards, and they need to create a flexible maintenance schedule, so thus the plant does not totally shut down during the maintenance. That's all from me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, my name is Farhan Yusuf. We continue to the discussion. The overall industrial visit teaches us to improve engineering and quality of industrial management system to improve their work quality, product quality, and profit rate in the long term. The overall discussion about the improvement can be followed internationally, or it requires more time and proposal to work on it. Either because the improvement in industry involves standard operation procedure under Malaysia Palm Oil Board (MPOB). First, grading methodology. The grading method FGV still use the manual checking by the person in charge, or can be called as sorter. The sorter must valid under AQS grading and option certificate from Malaysian Palm Oil Board. Even though method has higher precision, the time taken for grading will be higher. Thus, adding more worker or using technology such as automatic grading machine will help us improve the quality of work and reduce workload. Nevertheless, the time for grading will require less than before. Okay, for the second is a sterilization. The FGV Pengeli using 4 long sterilizer which can fit to 11 chairs each at one, which weigh 1.6 metric ton. The sterilizer is working under maximum pressure around 40 psi with a time period of 88 minutes to dry the fruit bunch. By improving schedule, operation with isolate power supply to sterilizer will help during maintenance work. We can make sure the plant is running even though one of the sterilizer is under maintenance. Okay, next we continue to the threshing. The empty fruit bunch is one of the valuable byproducts that have market value for further industrial work. Since the FGV improved the process for the EFB changing from incineration to shredding, it's still to good improvement which avoid carbon emission to the surrounding. Okay, 4 is a kernel drying silo. From the industrial visit, FGV was using dry kernel as the byproduct. Anyhow, the management of the dry kernel required improvement because ton of the kernel was dumped under the bunker. By adding some worker for packaging, it will improve their management quality and increase their profit of selling kernel dryer at higher rate. In addition, clearing the dump placed under the bunker will help to improve their cleanliness and movement which allow to avoid a hazardous situation. Okay, next we continue to the maintenance. Maintenance is the key point to make sure the workplace is safe and secure to work. Thus, FGV Pengeli have really worked on it to improve their quality of the work and reduce problem and hazardous situation. The floor cleaners is important to avoid the workers sleeping during work, and they put a warning board at the portal so the worker is aware about the floor situation. Next, the pipeline system. There are quite a lot of pipeline have leaked, so they should do maintenance. Okay, the last is a management structure. The overall improvement system that we discussed is compiled under the management system. The management should improve the maintenance schedule and system to make sure industry run with higher engineering and quality management. Eliminating hazard is the best way to improve quality. Since the FGV Pengli is old industry, elimination is require more time and higher cost. So, using engineering control will help to improve the quality management of the industry. That's all from me. Thank you.
Alright, now I'm gonna conclude our presentation. The industrial visit to an oil palm oil industry helped us to investigate the overall industrial management on engineering and quality of the palm oil. This is where we were able to compare the real world problems in the industry and relate it to our studies under the plant engineering and quality management courses. We were able to observe and analyze the overall plant system and come up with some ideas to solve the problem in order to improve the engineering and quality management system. We were also able to identify and come up with a solution using the fishbone method that we were studying in the course of plant engineering and quality management. In addition to that, the industrial visit also helped us to understand the process involved in the making of crude palm oil and byproduct kernel and nut and cake, etc. Nevertheless, we are also able to relate the flow of the process involved in the industry from the book to the real book world. Experience it ourselves allow us to understand more deeply about the process flow, limitation of the plant, the technology involved, the improvement that I already have, and it can be improved to increase the quality of the product and the management. That's all. Thank you.